In this video, we'll show you how to configure the network settings of a storage node. We'll need to log into the IPMI address of the node in question. And once we log in and enter our credentials for the IPMI interface, we'll be able to launch the Java console so that we can get in and use the virtual console to configure the settings. With the console loaded, we can now come in and configure our networking. This is all text-based and has two sections, a bond 1G and a bond 10G. Typically our bond 1G will be done via DHCP, but we can enter temporary IP addresses if needed. The way this menu works is you use the directional arrows to go to the appropriate setting. You have to hit the Enter key in order to make a choice, and then you hit the Enter key again to use the value and move on. For our 10G, the only thing we need to configure is the port channel. We'll continue to use the automatic private IP address that it gets from DHCP, and the NDA is able to use that to configure the nodes later. So for bond mode, we would come in, hit Enter, type in LACP, and hit Enter again to accept that value. We'd want to make sure the switch has the same settings on their side. Since there's nothing else to configure, we would then hit the S button, which allows us to then type Y to accept, and it'll make and save these changes. It takes a few seconds for those changes to take effect, and when it does, the screen refreshes, and then you can scroll back down and see the changes. Depending on the refresh rate, the IP address may not refresh just yet, but if you give it a few more seconds and hit the End button, it'll refresh all the settings and you'll be able to see it from there. What we want to see is that the port channel is up and running. At this point, the node is ready for NDE deployment.